Yay.
All right, good morning, you guys. For those of you who I have not met before, my name is Debbie Morrow. I founded the Real Estate Agent Referral Network about 4.5 years ago, and we've been doing these morning virtual coffees for about 3 years now. My partner in crime here, Ray Schulsouth. Ray.
Hi guys, good morning. Happy to see everybody. I am recovering my voice, so please bear with me as I get back there. Are we ready to kick it off, Debbie?
We are, I'm gonna give it to you and let you chat with our guys here this morning.
All right, awesome. So guys, if you are new here, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Raymond Schulseth, based in Chicago, where it's currently 7 degrees. And I've been in real estate for 32 plus years, mainly as an investor, and that is my focus. I do off-market property. So if you're in the off-market multifamily space, message me, would love to chat. Today we have a special guest, and before I introduce him, I want to know, who here likes the internet? Anybody? Show of hands, who likes the internet? Great. What is the tool called that we use to search the internet? Drop it in the chat. Let's see what we get. Google, Google, Google. All right, great. Awesome. Who here knows how much Google dictates our life? Anybody? Way too much. Way too much. I love it. All right. So here's the thing, right? Just like AI tools with ChatGPT, input equals output. It's the same for Google. Search matters, relevance matters with what we're doing and what we're returning to ourselves. So we're going to talk about Google today. I'd like to introduce one of our partners, Ben. Unmute yourself, give us your elevator pitch, and let's get into it, man.
Hey, I'm Ben. I got licensed as an agent about 3, 4 years ago. I was a locksmith prior to that, where I learned how to use Google to get leads. When I got licensed as an agent, I transferred the same knowledge into the industry, developed a system. At some point, agents started asking me to help them with their Google stuff. And here I am today, the Google expert for real estate agents. And now we're in a company called Going Big, which helps people with Google agents.
I love it. Thanks, Ben. Ben, why did you choose Google as your premier tool to get started with when you were in the locksmith business looking for leads?
Because the one place all of our brains go to, the same way you just asked everyone on Google, right? When you need something, a plumber, a lawyer, a locksmith, electrician, if you don't know someone, the first word pops in your head is Google. So we knew as locksmiths that when you need something quick, fast, and reliable, especially a service provider, you go to Google. So we focus almost all of our energy on Google leads, on how we crack Google's code and how we get more people who are locked out of their houses to find us through Google.
All right, so let's talk about the results that Google gives us. And I know like that's super loaded, right? We can go all over the place with that. We can search best Thai restaurant near me, best chiropractor, best real estate agent near me. How much does what we're actually searching in Google dictate what the results are?
It depends on what platform on Google you're using. So Google, based on maybe they'll know this, but based on what you're searching, Google offers up different results or types of results. So specifically, we targeted what's called local service ads, right? Which goes after very high intent keywords, probably the highest intent keywords. So not people looking for just real estate in, right? Because that could be anything. They could be an investor. They could be, right, looking for a foreclosure. They could look at anything. But we're specifically local service ads dishes up results geared towards local areas, local people who are looking specifically to talk to a service provider because they want to do a transaction or to hire them. Those are the keywords that local services uses.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute because I know with Google, you can pay to play, right? And you'll see if you go and Google something, you'll see the sponsors, then you'll see the organic results, then you'll see more sponsors, so forth and so on the page. But for the purposes of this conversation, if I'm a real estate agent and I want to be seen and get found using Google, what are my options?
So there's probably a total of 4 or 5 different options to use, right? So we all know that the pay-per-click, everyone's familiar with that, Google AdWords, pay-per-click, right? Almost, I mean, if you're an agent for 2, 3+ years, you've probably tried it out at some point, right? Then there's the organic path, right? Which is making blog posts, having a website, right? Extremely difficult to rank, right? Extremely competitive. Probably takes you, a couple years to even get some results. And then the two that we focus on, I like the most, is called Google Business Profile and local service ads. And over the years, Google has slowly been integrating these two platforms close together. And they are probably the #1 platforms that realtors can be on, and local providers and even just small businesses can be on those platforms to get very, very high quality, high intent leads, right? So it's local services and Google Business Profile. I honestly stay away from pay-per-click for maybe if you're a huge team, you're a large team, and you have the
Thanks,
resources and the funds.
I also would like to take this up.
If you have the
Sorry,
resources,
Ben, you're good.
but yeah, if you're a huge team and you have the funds and resources to cold call these leads and to have call centers and ISAs reaching out to your pay-per-click leads, it can pay off. For most agents, pay-per-click is very hard to convert. So we like local service ads and Google Business Profile. And I said two profiles. I wanted to point out they are completely separate profiles. They are integrated in certain ways, but they're totally separate. You have to have both accounts opened up in order to get leads from both accounts.
Okay, so for a lot of the agents out there that say, okay, I'm going to turn on Google Ads, and they set up their Google My Business profile, and then they get hit with the, hey, here's a $500 credit to use, and then turn on ads. Is that a mistake?
I have to tell people that's a bit of a trap. And more often than not, I see that money being wasted. And I'm very blunt about it because I'd rather just be blunt and tell the truth. But for most agents, if you're just clicking that, get the credit and have Google set your ad up, oftentimes you're wasting your money. Also the $500 credit, I will point out, you have to spend $500 to get $500. So you have to spend $500 to get the credit. And you have basically $1,000 of ad cost. But that credit is designed for pay-per-click. Is very important. When you open up business profile, it's actually really weird. It's I don't really understand why Google does this. The only kind of thing I think about is less competition goes towards local service ads, because in my opinion, local service ads is really where the money's at. It's a platform that's much easier to scale, to learn, to set up, and to get consistent. And once you get it going and get good at it, it can become one of your best lead sources in the industry that most people have very little knowledge about.
Okay, so let's talk about how to set yourself up for success, right? So like inside our academy in Agent Impact Group, the first thing we talk about is you have to be seen and get found. We need to optimize all your social media profiles. Second thing is we need to get you organized on the front end with some type of client-facing website, MLS access, whatever, something searchable, plus a CRM attached to the back. And then content is number 3. Content is all about building a toolbox to serve the avatars. In the Google world, in order to be seen, get found, and actually have conversion locally, what does that roadmap look like?
Yeah. So a lot of agents believe that in order to get on Google, they have to first start with like a website, right? Where they have to build the website out. So I've seen these agents going out there and spending thousands of dollars on these fancy websites that are going to be SEO optimized and ranking high. And again, I find it's a bit of a trap. Though it's important, it's becoming less and less important. If you notice, results on Google tend to be very generic. It's hard to rank. It's the organic part. The part that's getting more and more prominent to be on is a business profile. I would say the first thing you want to do is Google Business Profile. And obviously there are ways to set up properly to ensure success. But the first one to do is Google Business Profile and a setup. And I'll point out one thing. Most agents try to put their brokerage's address on the profile and verify that location, right? And they have a physical location on the profile. I would never, ever do that. And I can talk more about why. But the way to do your profile for success, the most important piece when you're first opening the account is you want to use your home address and make it a service-based business. This way, your address will not be shown to the public at all. Google will use the address to verify the profile, and then they'll hide it from the public, so nobody knows where you are, right? And this does two main things, right? The first thing it does, right, it ensures you can get verified, right? Because oftentimes if you don't do that, you can't prove that you own the building your brokerage owns, right? So it can be hard to get verified. Second thing it does, if you have a physical location on your office, right? Now, if somebody looks up a realtor near me and they happen to see your profile, right? But let's say they're one town over, right? They're gonna see where you are. They're gonna see that you're not in their town, right? You're 1 or 2 towns over. You're a half hour away from them. So they may not call you just for that reason, because they see your address. They see exactly where you are on the map. If you're service-based, all the consumer sees is that you serve their area. So they have no idea where you actually are physically. So it gives you a benefit, right? Everyone says, oh, I won't rank as well. Not true. Go Google it. Google has made statements about this, that the location is a visual difference on your profile. And that's all it is. Does not impact your ranking whatsoever. Right? That's probably the best tip I can give realtors for a Google Business Profile account when you first start up. For local service ads, right? The one tip is just open it. Just go and start an account and get it verified. Most real estate agents, I would say probably 85% of agents do not have local service ads set up, right? You have to set it up separately. And when you have business profile, it never ever recommends opening local service ads, right? But you have to go separately, look it up, and open the profile by yourself.
Okay, got it. So Ben, another question here. We have realtors, we have lenders, we have financial services professionals. Is the roadmap to leverage local service the same for all professions or everybody, or is it different based upon the niche you're serving?
There are slight variations. The two main differences that you're gonna see is the process to get verified, right? So for real estate agents, they're gonna want a background check. They're gonna want to see your real estate license. They're going to want to see your E&O insurance from your brokerage. It also depends on what state you're in. Florida doesn't have background check or insurance verification for some reason, right? Massachusetts has background check, E&O insurance, license, right? They check everything. So depending on what state you're in, but yeah, depending on what industry you're in, they're gonna have different requirements. For locksmiths, they required us to show a video of our vehicles, our equipment. We had to get on a live call with Google and show them all of our equipment. Locksmith is historically the hardest niche to get verified because people abuse that industry a lot. It gets very, very abused. And people will oversell, upcharge, if you know the locksmith industry, but it's very much of a bit of a, it can be a little scammy even. If you get the wrong locksmith at your door front, they can way overcharge you. Like they can mark up, 10x what things cost, if not more. Even 100x, I've seen people do it. So I don't know other industries specifically. Again, I focus on real estate agents, but the general path to get verified is going to be the same.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's just talk about some myths. What are some common held misbeliefs or myths about Google when it comes to being a real estate agent?
Yeah, so I actually just made a video about this on my YouTube channel. And one of the biggest myth I would say is about Google reviews. And real estate agents specifically, or I think it's really in the real estate agents niche believe this, is you have to have hundreds or thousands of reviews in order to rank on Google to get leads in. Right? And everyone believes that. And if I can probably list off 5 different markets right now. If you look at realtor in Muncie, Indiana, I think there's one in North Carolina now that's doing well. So many places in your local markets, you'll see people with 12, 5, right, 18 reviews ranking on Google. And if you pull it down, there's people below them that have like 2,500 reviews. Yeah, this lady with 18 reviews is outranking them. right? This is specifically for local service ads. You have an advantage here with reviews. So the trick with reviews is actually not quantity, right? But it's consistency and quality of reviews. So even if you have, if you're a brand new profile, right? If you can get consistent, if you have 0 views, if you can get consistent reviews 1 a week, 2 a week, 3 or 4 a month, and they're always good, right? You do that consistent for several months, you will climb the rankings faster than anybody else, right? Just by getting consistent reviews, and especially on local service ads. When you first start the profile, Google gives you like a little bit of a boost to your account, and you can leverage that along with review consistency to really push your profile up there and kind of create stickiness to it. So I would say the biggest myth is you don't need thousands of reviews, right? You don't need even hundreds, right? You just need consistent good reviews on an ongoing basis.
Okay, so I think most people, general statement, are afraid to ask for reviews. What's a tip or some advice that you can share with people to be able to ask for reviews? Number one. Number two, is there a methodology in order to ask people for reviews with the Google tools that make it easier for the end person to do the review, whether it's a buyer, seller, investor, or client?
Yeah. I would say, first of all, suck it up, right? Because it's important. And you have to kind of a little bit remove the emotion from the decision, not from the asking part, but from the decision. It's not an emotional decision, right? You're a business owner and you have to make business decisions, right? So I would say every view you get is to you is worth $1,000, right? Have that mindset when it comes to reviews. Every review you get is worth $1,000, right? And then see if then you won't go out and chase reviews. I always say you also have to ask an average of 3 to 4 times until someone leaves your review. And think about yourself. How many times do you get an SMS or email from a dentist or a doctor for a review and you see it, you're like, oh, I'm gonna do that, right? But then your kid throws a ball at you, right? And you get distracted and you walk away and you forget about it. Right. Oftentimes, the biggest thing I see agents make is, oh, yeah, I already asked them, but they didn't do it, so they must not want to do it. So I won't ask again. I hear that all the time. And all the time, I challenge agents to call that client up and say, hey, did you see the SMS I got? And almost all of your responses, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I just got distracted. Right. Life is busy. So I would say, don't plan on asking once, plan on only getting a response after 3 asks at least. So we actually have an automation we use that asks 6 times. It asks once a month for review, and then the automation tracks if they click the link for the review, then they get sent they get sent the link. We know they clicked the link. We know they visit our profile, and then we can actually call them up after and say, "Hey, thank you so much for going to my business profile, leaving that 5-star review." But yeah, I would say ask 3 times, remove the emotion from the action of asking, and treat each review like $1,000.
I love it. Thanks, Ben. Okay, so guys, we're going to drop a link next Thursday. Ben will have a live webinar that we can all attend and learn a little bit more about what's involved on a deeper level. Ben, give us a high-level overview of how your program works to help agents with this.
So the really kind of short elevator style pitch is, as we built our own team in Maine, so at one point we were closing, I think, about 100 transactions a year up in Maine. And we've scaled back production a little bit, and went to a broader team. But as we built and scaled, we kind of developed all the tools and learned how to leverage Google, specifically local service ads, which is really our bread and butter, our focus. Business profile plays into it. So our goal is to give real estate agents every single tool they need and the training around those tools and the profiles to succeed on local services and Google Business Profile. That's what we do.
Hey, Ram, I got a quick question.
All right, love it.
For Ben. Ben, what do you mean? It's $1,000.
So
Asking for.
yeah, so I mean, every review you get is an investment into your business, right? Most of the platforms, like people get reviews on Zillow, Realtor.com, all other places, the amount of return you would get on a review is probably minimal. With Google, because of how relevant it is in our lives and how many people use it, when you put your energy towards collecting Google reviews, think about it this way. If you got review consistency and for for a whole year, you got 3 or 4 reviews a month. For a whole year, that's 3 or 4 months. Boom, 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 boom. End of the year, you have whatever it is, 80, 100 reviews on the profile. Now that profile is ranking on Google, people are seeing it and calling it. Now it's giving you clients, right? So all that effort you put in, right? Yes, that same day you're not going to see a return, but you keep doing that 3 or 4 month review. 1 year later, that profile is now bringing in a closing a month, right? Now all that effort you put in, right? Each review is going to turn out to be worth about $1,000 of investment that you made, right? On an ROI base. So it's if you think about it from an ROI perspective, it's almost ridiculous to not ask for a review because it costs you nothing. Yet it's worth
I
$1,000.
understand. I understand now. Thank you. I was just trying to understand the dollar amount, but by you explaining that, it makes sense now. Just ask and don't be
Exactly.
afraid.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, perfect. Guys, we can go into Q&A and then we're going to go into breakout rooms. So Ben, let's go ahead and open it up. And who has questions? Nikkei.
I got a question. I hear it. Excuse me. Ben, incredible. I hear there's no stupid question, there's no silly question. What is the first step? Just pretend I don't know anything about internet technology. What is the first step to create a Google business, local business service? What is the first step you do?
Go to Google, google.com,
Okay,
right? And type in my business.
my business.
Yep. Probably or Google My Business, either one. Probably the first result you'll see is get seen by customers, or right, it'll say Google. You know what? Let me go grab a link for you to just click on, and it'll pull up the page to get you started.
Thank you. And then you just follow the steps, I guess.
Yep. Follow the steps, follow the prompts.
All right, so Julio,
Yeah,
Ben
so
will
I put a
drop
link
that
in
in
the
the chat
chat.
for us.
That is Google Business Profile. You click on that and latest follow steps. I believe I might even have a video. Raymond, I can send you, Raymond, a mini course that
Sure.
takes agents through the steps, and you can share it out to the attendee
That will be
today.
great.
That'll really help them just get going.
Okay, drop it.
Thank you
we'll
very
send it
much.
over.
Yeah, I'll give it to Raymond, and Raymond, they'll figure out how to get it to you guys.
Yep, no problem, guys. Check your emails later. Okay, cool. Kobe, I see your hand up, buddy.
Awesome. Thank you so much. This has been an awesome presentation. It's just like starting to think a lot of things. Okay, so my company pays for experience.com. So if can you get it where like I already am getting reviews, but can it automatically just get those if it's and have those also be published to the bank of the ones, or do you have to ask again?
Can I first ask you, can you just elaborate on exactly what experience.com is?
Okay, so experience.com
Quick
is
minute.
basically it is a platform that like for mortgage lenders we can collect reviews, and like basically if we get a review we can push it out. It'll push it out like automatically to different websites. So
Okay.
like mine's synced with my LinkedIn. I didn't want to get because like you said, with how painful it is to get verified, I didn't set up my verification yet with Google to do that. Basically, I'm just like, I already am having it where I'm asking once and they're actually doing it really well, that I'm just like, oh my gosh, if I have to create multiple processes, that's going to be an
Okay.
adventure.
What has your ROI been on experience.com?
I haven't been here long enough to give you that answer.
Okay. So I would say it's not so experience.com is the reviews live on experience.com, correct? And it makes posts out to LinkedIn with the review as like a featured post. I would say
Yes.
stop doing that.
Perfect.
Because there's little benefit to that. Right? I mean, almost always I say like, if you have like Zillow, if you use Zillow, that's changing now. I saw a lot of chatter around Zillow making it, if you don't pay them, they don't list you. Even that's I think changed. I think Zillow's, I don't know yet. I think nobody knows until they actually implement it. But my thing is you can have, a couple reviews on each of the platforms, and then everything else just funnel to Google. It's just, and again, I'm biased, obviously, right? But I think just as far as your investment goes and your efforts, I feel Google gives the highest return on your investment for each review you get because of the audience size of Google searches, right? Just think about it that way. You're exerting energy to get that review, whatever it is, right? You're putting in $10. If you're only getting 5 out, and there's a source that gives you 100 out, then why wouldn't you put that review on that source, on that platform?
And then one other quick question. So my 4 states I'm licensed in are in my thing, which are not near each other at all. So does it matter that does you still have to be local-ish, or can you have multiple states that are not near each other and still be considered local?
So as a mortgage broker, if you're not licensed an agent, if you are, then it's easier. Mortgage brokers have a harder time with this because they only have access to business profile, which needs to be hyper local. Right. So if you have multiple states, you will need a profile in each state. And even beyond that, you would need multiple profiles in each state to cover the areas. Because business profile is only designed for a 3-hour radius. Right now, if you have a really good realtor partner, what you can do is you can tap into their industry with local services, and then you can help them run local service ads. And local service ads can be run in any state you're licensed, in any city. There's no limitations on it at all. We have a profile that we run. We advertise in Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, right? And Massachusetts. It's one profile. We can do that, right? We can do the entire country with one profile if we're licensed in all the states.
Okay. So really it comes down to that partnership with getting, and that's perfect, honestly, because having that. So how much is the budget that, like, if I'm partnering with a realtor, like how much should I be like, hey, we're going to do local service ads together? Am I talking about I just committed $2,000 of my life to you, or like is that like I committed like $500 to you?
That's a really long answer. I'll give you the really short version of that answer. The very short version, and it might leave some confusion a little bit. Local service ads is a pay per phone call platform, not pay per click, right? So the results you're getting is somebody who is looking for a real estate agent in your area, and they pick up the phone and say, "Hey, I need an agent." So the conversion rate is about 10% on those leads, which is extremely high for our industry. Extremely high. It's ridiculous. And the average lead cost is between $35 and $75, depending on your market, right? If you think about, so don't think about it as how much is it going to cost me. Think about how much money do I have to buy these leads, because you know they're good, right? So you can choose your own budget, how much you spend, right? But if the conversion rate is 10% and the average lead cost, say, is $50, would you spend $500 for a closing? Right? Would you spend $1,000 for a closing? Would you spend $2,000 for a closing? Right? The answer is almost always yes, because the ROI on these leads are so high because they're so close to the money. These leads, we always say, they convert 10% in an average of 93 days. They're closed from the first phone call. All right. So on that first call, before you hang up, you have a client.
So so the only thing that makes me nervous when you just said that is that there's a certain amount of transactions that a mortgage broker would not get that a realtor would just do cash on. And so I'm just gonna hang up the phone. So
yeah, so you have to balance out the cost, right? If your ROI is X, you can tell the agent, I'm willing to pay X amount because that's what I'm making. So yeah, but that's a much deeper conversation.
thank you.
All right, Nikki, you're up. Oh, sorry.
Hi. So Google review link. So what is the best way to share that with people? Do you use a QR code or how are
Yeah.
you getting that out to people?
My favorite way is an SMS.
A text.
Yeah, and the main reason is
That, yeah.
how many of you right now on your phone are logged into Google,
Yeah.
right? Probably everyone. So when they get an SMS with a link, all they do is click it, and it pulls open the 5 stars, and right on their screen it has Google Maps. It pulls open, and they can leave a 5-star review, and they're already logged into their Google profile. There are 2 types of reviews you can get. Again, I made a video on this on my YouTube channel as well. And there's a local source ads verified review, and then a business profile regular review. So if you have local source ads and you have leads in, go look up what a verified review is. We don't have time for it right now, I don't think, but if you have the account and you have leads in, look up what a verified review is. Almost nobody gets them, and they're extremely important.
And how do you create that link?
Google creates it for you. So on your
Okay.
profile, so just go to Google, type in My Business. If
Yeah.
you're logged into the right email, it'll pull up your profiles associated with that email. Then there's a little button that says Get More Reviews. You click on that. It's a little short link, and you can use that link to collect reviews.
Okay.
I have a question, if you don't mind. When I go into my Google, this is for the Google business page, right?
Yeah, we're going back and forth between Google Business and local service ads, but yes.
Okay, so when I go to my Google business page, or like I put it on Google to try to get my page, it keeps telling me like, confirm like this is you, like this is your business.
It's saying Get Verified?
Not get verified. It just shows like you, yeah, I think something like that. Like get verified. It shows always like a little house and says like get verified. And I don't know why. Why can't I just go into my Google account?
Yeah.
My
Hey,
Google business-
Lizette, I'm sorry. I'm going to cut you off, but like, this is not a troubleshooting call. I want to make sure we get everybody into breakout rooms.
Okay.
So we will have to circle back to that another time.
Yeah,
I'm
I was gonna
sorry.
say it's better to reach out to me off this call, and I can try to help you out.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
dropped a link. We'll be dropping more links to get in touch with Ben, join his webinar, all that good stuff.
Okay.
I want to address the people that have their hands up. Nikki Huff, you're up.
Yeah, I'm a new agent in a year now. So I've got 6 transactions, which isn't a lot of reviews for Google. How do you feel about the lenders and the insurance agents and stuff like that leaving reviews for you? Because I just did this yesterday with another group and that's what they're suggesting,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it's a good idea because they're not actual clients that I've sold houses for.
It is fine. Anyone who's worked with you, right, can review you. I would say just ask them, and again, they're business professionals, so you can ask them in different ways. So just ask them to don't have anyone pretend or deceive, right? That's oh yeah, I bought a house with them, right? Say I work with Ben as a lender. I have an agent of mine that every transaction he asks the lender, the title company, the co-broker. He'll even ask the co-broke if it's okay to ask his client if he can leave a review how it was working with him as agent on the other side. Right. And again, oftentimes if you have a family, right, if it was, a mother, brother, sister, grandmother, right, spouse, cousin, right, anyone who's experienced working with you can leave your 5-star review, right? It's just how much effort do you want to put into it? Because again, it's getting more effort to go and ask the person if you can get one from them and from their spouse. But
So
don't
is
worry
the-
about
Is the review more for gaining authority with Google or for your future clients?
it's both. You have 2 customers. You have Google, you have people who are looking to buy and sell real estate.
Okay.
Right. So so again, as long as the reviews are authentic, right, you're covering both grounds. If they're inauthentic, then you're gonna either miss Google wants or what the consumer wants. Right? As long as they're authentic reviews from people who have experience working with you, then you're fine. Even from a past job or past life, that's fine too.
Okay. because that's my struggle right now is I'm trying to gain authority with Google to move up. So everybody's like hammered down on reviews, and I'm like, well, who do I target?
Yep. I think John just said too. You can ask a review from anyone you've worked with, right? That's
Okay.
a simple way
Sounds
to
good.
put it.
And
Thank
guys,
you.
remember the average real estate transaction has like 12 people involved in it. All of those people are capable of giving you a review. And if you start to compound those, if you do 6 deals in a year and there's 12 people involved in every transaction, you're touching a lot of people to ask for reviews. But Ben's 100% right. Like, you can't be shy. You have to ask. Dean K, I see your hand up, bud.
Yes. Okay. Hi, Ben. Thanks for coming on. My question is this. I set up my Google review, and after reading the instructions and so forth, I set it up as an area, not as a specific address. And that had to be about 8 or 9 months ago. Now, it's asking me to re-verify myself. I guess they do it once every 6 months, and it's asking me to produce a video at my office, the exact location. Is there a way to get around that, or how should I proceed?
So there's no way around it. Do you own the office that's listed?
No, I do not. I'm an agent.
Okay. So you're not the broker owner. You're the agent in the office. Then I would say the best thing that you want to do is honestly you want to remove the address, go back to service-based, because I'm not sure if you're on when we first started the call, when the first thing that said was you do not want to use your brokerage's address. You do not want a physical location on your profile.
Wrote that down.
Right.
But when I set up my profile, it asked me for an address or an area. I selected area.
Correct. That's the way to do it. So now what you want to do is go to your profile, click on edit profile, click on location. It'll scroll you down to location. All right. And then you want to check it'll either have an address or it'll say service area. If it has an address, there'll be a little blue switch, right? And you can turn that address off and then save that. Once you have the address off, click on start the video and then make sure you're at your house and then go through that video verification process, right? And you have to be at your house location, right? And verify your home address.
Okay, my house or the office?
Your house. You're going to verify at your home address, your home make a home office, get your business cards out. If you have there's a whole again, that's a verification video that could be a whole like half hour, 45 minutes on its own. So I don't want to go down in that rabbit hole because we have other things to get to. But again, come to the webinars, reach out to me afterwards, and we can see where we can help you out.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, we got 15 minutes left. Debbie, we going to breakout rooms?
Exactly. I think I muted myself. All right. Breakout rooms are open. All right, you guys, we're coming back here. So before everybody gets back in, what did you guys think today? So much great info, huh?
I thought it was great. I mean, the speaker was awesome.
Wait, Ben, that doesn't count.
Yeah, it was great info, especially with the Google My Business profile. I just recently got I explained to the group, I just recently got mine because I was with a brick and mortar. Now I'm with a web base and they suspended my account.
Oh.
And I had to do a video, me walking from the corner up to my house, into my office, saying, this is my laptop, this is my printer, my work desk. And then I had to explain in writing, hey, I'm not brick and mortar, I'm a web base and I need my account. Can you please assist me? And within 5 to 7 business days, the account was set up.
Yep.
They approved it, and they also put stock videos, not stock photos in it. So you can always change that. But Ben can tell you more about that when you attend the training, how to do all
Excellent.
that. Yeah.
All right, you guys, so much great info here this morning.
Debbie, I
would
think
like
we
to
need
know-
like 2 more hours with Ben.
Yeah, right. And we're gonna do that. We're gonna do some separate webinars, separate from the coffee, where he'll have more time and can go into much more detail. I think Ray either already has them on the calendar or will have them on they're in the process of scheduling them. So that is, we actually really enjoy what Ben's doing. So first thing, I have a question for, is anybody here, just like raise your physical hand, you don't have to do the other one. Anybody here who got a welcome call from us from joining the Facebook group in the last couple of weeks? Because we have started making welcome calls. Nobody.
Brandon
Not me.
raised his hand. Yeah, Brandon right there.
Yay. Okay, perfect. So
We don't feel unwelcome.
well, that's good. That's good.
Debbie, what is the
all right.
Facebook group?
The Facebook group is called Real Estate Agent Referral Network and Marketing Tips. And I'm actually going to turn this back over to Ray because one of our partners wants to give away some free leads. Ray, is Lance still on and going to do that?
Yeah, he's messaging me now. He got pulled into a call, so let me see if we're doing that.
Okay.
A couple things meanwhile, guys. I dropped the Facebook group link. If you're not in it, please join us. We'd love to have you.
Oh, thank you.
And the best
okay,
part
so
is if you join, then Debbie's going to call you and welcome you. And that's the best part of everything. That's the best part, everybody.
okay, guys. So I am doing the lead drop on behalf of one of our partners at realty.com. So we have, let me see, it looks like one in California, one in Wisconsin, and one in Georgia. So I'm going to download these. This will take me 1 second, and then I'll drop them in the chat for you guys to grab.
Okay, so the way that Lance did it the other day on our call is he said, yeah, you have to tell the town in each state, and then we're only going to give the lead to one person. We're not going to give it to everybody. We don't want 10 people calling the same lead. So what city in California, Wisconsin?
Yeah, let me download these, Debbie.
All right, you guys, this is fun, right? You come in here and you learn some really cool stuff and you get a lead at the same time. Like,
okay, so the first one is in Fulton, California.
if you're in Fulton, California, unmute yourself and claim that lead. Nobody's in Fulton? Okay.
Too far for me. Way too far for me.
Okay, the second one is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Anybody in Milwaukee?
I didn't hear any Wisconsin agents when we were talking, so.
Zip code is 53218.
I think I'm from Wisconsin. I'm from Canada. Does that count, Debbie?
All right. The last one is in Riverdale, Georgia. Boy, we're gonna have to do a better job at coverage, huh, Debbie?
Yeah, we need more people on these calls, you know.
We're fired.
It wasn't
Oh, wow.
Florida.
Maybe we have to get everybody to put
residential
town in
broker.
maybe we have to get everyone to put their town in the chat at the beginning, and then we can see which towns need leads.
Yeah, that's
Like a
a good
random
idea. And the
thing.
zip code too. Put the zip code. Very important.
Well,
Yeah, Riverdale is just south of Atlanta.
got it.
All
Okay.
right, you guys, I'm sorry we couldn't give either any of those leads away, but hopefully next time Lance will be on. Do these leads need to be pre-approved? That's a good question. Danny, I don't know. All right.
I mean,
Because I can do all of California and a few other states.
And then also, Debbie, it depends on what the referral is. If it's just residential, that's something different. But if it's commercial, you know, I work with
these are
an
all
investment
residential
group.
in this case.
Got it.
All right, you guys. It is 9:01. We're gonna
Ben,
put a
thank
cap
you
on
so
this.
much.
Yeah, of course. It was fun. Always enjoyed.
You guys watch in the newsletters. If you're not signed up for the newsletter, do that. in our newsletter, we send out all the webinars that we're doing. And so Ben is going to be doing a kind of a series of webinars with us. So watch for that in the newsletter, and we'll see you all in the Facebook group. Thanks so much for hanging with us for an hour. And we'll see you next Thursday, same time, where Walt will be running the virtual coffee next week, because Ray and I are going to be in Texas for our company's Christmas party. So Walt will be in charge next week, but we know and love him too. So see you guys all next week.
Debbie?
Yes.
You want to remind everybody how to copy the chat?
Oh, yes. How